What is up, guys? Hope you guys are having a great day. Today's episode will be a little different because some of you guys have hit me up in my DMs and asked me if I think it's going to be possible to retire with Chainlink in the future. And in this video, I will answer that question exactly: how many Chainlink I think you need, how long it's going to take. And the most important thing, I think the answer to those questions will not only surprise you, but also motivate you to do better in the future and work even harder. Of course, we're going to take a look at the chart. As we talked about in yesterday's video, Chainlink broke out of this bearish pennant, and currently Chainlink has found support at around the $13 level that we also talked about. This could be a double bottom, and we're going to take a look at that very soon. The markets are looking very shaky right now. What's going to happen? Watch the whole video to find out. As always, to my subscribers, thank you so much, guys. I can't believe this. We are at 300 subscribers now. That is completely insane, unbelievable, in only 16 days. Let's get that number to 350. Let's spread the message about Bitcoin and Chainlink. And also, if you are new here and you want the latest price analysis of Bitcoin, Chainlink, and other cryptocurrency news, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Welcome, and as always, my name is Andreas. I have been in Bitcoin for a total of 3 years. I first started accumulating my first Bitcoin in June of 2017. But before we start talking about retirement, guys, let's just take a quick look at the chart where we left off yesterday. So let's drop our bearish pennant that Chainlink broke out of. And let's zoom in a little bit to make this easier to see. Here, Chainlink broken out of the bearish pennant, which is obviously not a good sign. But one thing that is very positive is that Chainlink managed to find support here at around 13.5, and it did bounce off of this support line. So that could be good. Also, if we take a look down here with the volume has increased a little bit. So that could be a good sign. Does that make me bullish right away? No. But we're currently sitting at 14.7. Chainlink, in my opinion, would have to go sideways for at least 2 to 3 days and then hold this levels 14 for us to see another upshoot to maybe like 16 or 17. But do I think that's likely? No, I do not think that's likely. We're most likely going to come down again within the next 1 to 2 days and retest this line. And when we do retest this line of about 13.2, it's crucial for Chainlink. We have to hope for some volume. We have to hope for some buyers just coming in. Hoping in markets like this is not the right strategy. If Chainlink is not able to hold this crucial level of around 13.2, I don't want to say it, and it's looking very likely we're going to come down here to around 10.3 or around $11. And that means if we do come down here, then Chainlink will have had a price drop of 47%. For a lot of people, that would be very much, especially if you bought on the top. But don't be discouraged, because in crypto, this is, it's very strange to say that this is normal. If you were here during the 2017 bull run, you have experienced this many times in Bitcoin and other coins. But if you are new here, this might be very new to you. For the people who are in crypto, they look at these big retracements of 30-40% as great opportunities to accumulate even more for the long term, because eventually these coins turn around and they will shoot up to the upside. So let's break this down. I'll give it about a 30%, 25% chance that we're going to hold the level of $14 and then shoot to the upside, and I'll give it around 70 to almost 75% that we're going to come down, retest the line here of 13.2, and then eventually we'll break through, and then we will come down to around $11. And like I said, for people who have been in these markets, this is an excellent time to reaccumulate, buy the dip, put yourself in a better position, increase your position, because even if we come down here, and like I mentioned many times before, guys, we have a beautiful trend line here going all the way back to June of 14th. This trend line is perfect, and that means if we do come down here, we're eventually going to touch on this trend line, and then when we come here, I think Chainlink will get a decent bounce. But am I saying we're going 100% to $11? No, I'm not saying that, but I am saying we have to be very careful now. But now let's talk about what you guys came here for. How many Chainlink do you need to retire in the future? And like I said, I think the answer will surprise you guys a lot. Stay tuned and keep watching. But first, I'm just going to give you guys some numbers that you need to know before we get into this. The total supply of Chainlink right now is 350 million coins. That's the total supply of Chainlink right now. But in the future, that total supply will be, so that number in the future will be 1 billion coins. So let me just explain something to you. If there's 1 billion coins and Chainlink has a market cap of 100 billion, that would mean that equals $100 per coin. But obviously you can't retire if one Chainlink is only worth $100. So let me explain to you right now why it's very possible that you will be able to retire much sooner than you think. Right now, I'm going to pop up a chart that you guys can take a look at. The chart you're looking at right now, you might be saying, oh, $100 billion is a lot of money, but that is not true. Look at this chart right here. Keep in mind that the total money supply in the world plus real estate plus stocks is over $600 trillion, guys. And if we think about debt and other things, that number could go over to 1 quadrillion. As you guys know, Chainlink is doing extremely well now. In my opinion, if Chainlink does succeed at delivering the things they're promising, and they have a lot of success in the future, and it does end up becoming the #1 smart contract platform, then in the grand scheme of things, then $100 billion is not a lot. And it's not unreasonable to think that Link could have a market cap of $1 to $3 trillion within the next 6 years. So let's take a closer look at these numbers, guys, because this is crucial. If Chainlink has 1 billion coins, it has a $1 trillion market cap. That means one coin is now worth 1,000 US dollars. And that is a lot of money for just one coin. And like we just talked about, there is $600 trillion out in the world. And for Chainlink, if it becomes the #1 smart contract platform, then $100 trillion is not much in the grand scheme of things. So if one Chainlink become worth $1,000, that means if you have 1,000 Chainlink and then you times that by 1,000, which is the price, that means you suddenly have $1 million. And I know a lot of you right now are saying, oh, well, I can't retire with $1 million. Yes, you can. And I will explain to you right now what I would do with $1 million and show you it's completely possible to retire with $1 million. So now that you have $1 million and we've established that, so you have $1 million, what I would do is I would take 400,000 of that money. I would get some mortgage, just a small mortgage, so I could buy a little bit more. With 400K, and let's say you take a mortgage of 200K, that's 600K, you could technically buy 3 duplexes. So you could buy small apartments, but they're duplexes. So that means you would get 6 small apartments. Those 6 small apartments maybe bring you in $4,800 before taxes, and then after taxes you may be left with $3,200, right? So that means you have $3,200, and let's say you have to pay around $700 in mortgages. So after all that is done, you are left with around $2,500 from those apartments. So that means every month you're getting $2,500 just from those apartments. So let's put this right here. That means you have $2,500 that you get from that apartment. And now you're left with up here, you're left with $600,000. And one thing that is important to keep in mind, guys, is that after 6 years of investing, you will learn a lot more about money. You will know how to be more efficient with your money. You will see better investment opportunities. You will learn a lot during the journey and the process of investing. So when you do have 600,000 left, almost guarantee that you will get an interest of around $6 yearly on that money, and a 6% interest on that money yearly is $36,000 every year, which equates to about $3,000 every month. You have $2,500, $3,000 every month. That is $5,500 that you're left with every month to spend on whatever you want. And trust me, in 6 years, if you do end up having that much money, I think you're going to continue to invest, to build out your empire, because that should be your mindset and your attitude from the get-go, is that you should enjoy investing, you should love investing. You shouldn't really think about how much money you're going to make. You're going to think about, when you get that money, how do I build it even bigger? How do I grow it? And I think also you will learn to appreciate money in a completely different way when you're in this process and in this journey. It does something to you. Like a lot of people, they start off wanting, oh, I want to become super rich, I want to do this, I want to buy all these stupid things. But when you do it, you start to gain an appreciation, a respect for the craft of investing, and you appreciate it in a different way, and you just simply want to grow it more and more and more. But let's take a look at the other example of $3 trillion, because that could technically happen too. Am I saying it's going to happen 100%? No, I'm not saying that, but let's just take a look at it for fun. Chainlink had a market cap of $3 trillion. That means one coin is $3,000. So technically then, if a coin is $3,000, you would only need 333 Chainlink to get $1 million. So you could technically retire with only 333 Chainlink if this happens. Am I saying it's going to happen? No. Is there a possibility? Sure. Does Chainlink have to put in a lot of work to get there? Yeah. but 333 Chainlink, I think it's possible for a lot of people today when the prices are that low. So 333 Chainlink isn't that much right now. If Chainlink does decide to drop down to $10, that means 333 Chainlink would cost you $3,300. So that's a $3,300 risk you're taking for an upside of 3 million or 1 million. This is risk reward. Are you willing to risk that 3,300 to be able to win big? And you have to remember, most likely if something goes wrong with Chainlink and something happens, you're not going to lose all of that 3,300. You might lose half of it, or you might lose 70%, but you won't lose all of it. So technically you're taking a chance of $2,600 for maybe having $1 million in the future. Is that a good risk reward ratio? I think that is a good risk reward ratio, and if you think that too, please smash that like button.